Hello A to Z Fun Talkies viewers. So far in our channel, we have interviewed many of the experts and experienced persons in all the organizations, and even we met politicians. But today, for a change, and luckily, we have a scientist who is retired from Indian Institution of Geomagnetism. We are going to meet him and we'll get some abstractions from him from the field of magnetism. And many of the students have already asked me through my channel about the magnetism and its uh, the field, how what kind of an exposure that it gives me if I take magnetism as my career opportunities. So let us go through along with him. Let me introduce you here, Mr. Venkateswaran. Hello, Mr. Venkateswaran. How are you?
I'm fine.
So hope you know about the channel A to Z Fun Talkies,
Yes,
right?
I am a regular visitor of your channel.
So you please give us some important tips on how was your experience with the Indian Institute of Geomagnetism, and many thoughts about the magnetism, right? How it works, all those things. So maybe I will go through phase by phase. Before that, let's quickly get introduced. Okay,
Okay.
can you please go through your profile, like what you
First
do?
of all, I feel I am very much blessed. I am very glad that I had a rare opportunity to work with Indian Institute of Geomagnetism. I joined the institute in the year 1976. I served the institute for 22 years nearly and took voluntary retirement for some personal reasons. Once I can say I had a very nice time with the people in that institute, both academic, admin and other staffs. And during my tenure, I would like to mention that I had the great opportunity to work with experienced professors like Professor D.R.K. Rao and Dr. Rangarajan and Dr. R. Rajaram, who
And
is,
sorry to interrupt. And in one point of time, that we heard that you worked with Abdul Kalam, sir.
you know,
So how was your experience with that?
no, I have not worked directly with him, but he was our chairman for some time.
Oh, you are blessed with that, right? During his tenure of chairmanship, that you
See,
worked under him, it was a great opportunity. So how did you see that? How what kind of work that you underwent with him?
it was only very for a short period of time. The governing council of the meeting requested me to do some help in the paperwork, that is in assigning funds to different heads and all that. I indirectly helped. That is only a short period. I don't think it is not so much worth to mention it.
Oh,
However, I would like to mention that I worked with Professor Dr. R. Rajaram, who is the nephew of Sir C.V. Raman. Also, he is
wow.
the nephew of Dr. S. Chandrasekhar. You see, there are two Nobel laureates in the same one family. There are two Nobel laureates. I think I am blessed. It's a very great opportunity to work with him. Also, I know his wife, Dr. Mrs. Mita Rajaram, who later on became the director of the institute. And
Very
moreover,
nice.
from Dr. R. Rajaram and Professor Dr. Raman Rangarajan, I learned the photon programming techniques, how to use efficient usage of memory space as efficiently as possible. So if you know how to use the memory space efficiently by optimizing your CPU time, run time, output and everything, you can learn so many things. But is the one of the efficient way of using any computer, let it be microprocessor or mini or super mini or mainframe, whatever it is.
So,
Yes,
in your work era, did you come across all this kind of computers? And can you please
yes, yes,
elaborate
yes.
on what kind of computer language that you know?
See, I am basically an orthodox Fortran programmer. When I was about to leave IIG, they were installing Fortran 93 and Fortran 97, which had that OOPS, that is object-oriented program system. I was not fortunate enough to use them. However, later on, after my retirement, I purchased a new book. I know Oracle and I know machine language also. I learned from one of my colleagues from the electronic lab of IIG. And we used to hire computers at outside, that is TAFR and Jamnalaj Bajaj Unit of Management and IIT Powai and other places. Later on, we came to know that the computing requirement goes on increasing. It is worth to have an in-house computer after obtaining permission from Delhi government of India. So we had two computers. One is that SN73, which is a copy of PDP 1173, and also one is Wipro's Landmark. which is the OS operating system was Ultrix 32 based system. Both I was asked by the administration to look after. I was the system administrator for these two machines.
Very nice. So, to be frank, even we got admired with the knowledge that you have, that too with the legacy systems and so. Even though we weren't born at that time, but we could like to know about some of the other systems that you know and you worked like IBM or the very old system. Like how was it, and how did you compare it with the modern days of computers?
See, one instant tell you, IBM is nearly 100-year-old company. See, IBM 1620 is a system which uses the thermionic valves. See, the system never goes down hardware-wise, software-wise. It may be slow when compared with the latest day computers, but system, as far as I have seen, when I was working in Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management, Bombay, we were using the Remanish. Only for 2 months they will not allow us to enter the premises, because when they will be printing that university examinations, nobody is allowed inside. Under tight security, they will be printing the mark sheets. Except those 2 months, we are allowed to print our Indian magnetic data. And the Indian magnetic data is one consolidated volume where you got magnetic data of all Indian observatories. I think no other institute, even after retirement, I don't know. Our institute is the only institute that is printing the Indian magnetic data in one volume, so that any research worker who is desire of having a data can purchase the book after giving a reasonable cost. And I would like to mention that I was in charge of World Digital Data Center for geomagnetism and related scientists. We had more than 400 magnetic tapes. And
So, how long would be that magnetic tapes?
now we have, I don't know, after my retirement, what they did to protect the data from obsolescence.
But still, they are
Still they are
managing by
they are
some means in
manageable.
the latest
All the
technologies.
7-track tapes, 556 bytes per inch density, and when I was there only, I was given a project to convert all the 7-track tapes into 9-track tapes, so that they will not become obsolete. And
Okay.
I try to convert as many tapes as possible as fast.
Very nice. So during one of the our older meeting, right, you were talking about IBM systems. Can you please list that and explain what did you do with those systems?
See, my first experience with IBM mainframe is IBM 1620 at Jamnal Bajaj Institute of Management, and it uses thermionic valves of those days. The system is slow, but it's very, very sturdy. Uh, it never goes down, software wise, hardware wise, both also. And slow printing we require for publication of Indian magnetic data. And other systems which I used at TFR are CDC 3600 and CDC Cyber. CDC Cyber is the latest system where generally the listeners who attend this program would admit me or would agree with me that migration to a local system is a pain in the neck. It is very hard to migrate, or you transport some tapes from other system and convert it to uh, your own system, native system. Once you convert it, then you can start using the data, reading the data, and you can start your analysis. But whereas if you see, it is worth to mention about CDC Cyber. We have got separate utilities are available for any tape that is generated in any system. There is a utility available. Only thing one has to patiently go through and search for it. You specify the input, you have to specify the output. Simply say copy. The moment the tape is generated within minutes, in the way you desire, with the desired density, desired parity, desired code, whether it is ASCII or HPSCII or binary or whatever it is. So within minutes you can migrate. That one facility which I use in CD Cyber, I can never forget. I think all the computer specialists who look at this program will fairly agree with me.
So I think by the time when viewers who worked with you are viewing this
Definitely they will
video, definitely will
recall
all
the
the
beautiful
legacy and
sweet memories.
older systems, right? Yeah, I could see the passion and the happiness that comes in your face when you're
Yes,
talking
yes.
about the systems and the work that you did and the amount of work that you cherished during your work tenure, right? I can see that.
Uh,
So,
Within minutes, please permit me to. We had received a tape from Edinburgh data center. unfortunately, when the tape was generated, somebody had disturbed the density switch, and there were different densities in the. It is a sequential data, is it not? Sequential tape. So unnecessarily this was disturbed. So different densities at different length. So one cannot use the table. And I would like to mention that that was the only existing copy of solar geophysical data available in the world.
Oh,
Our
that is
director
nice.
told me, I struggled with the tape for, please, I repeat, I struggled with the tape for 45 days. One day our director called me, Venkat, you take this tape, try a TFR for last time. If you don't succeed, go to the top of the floor of TFR, from there use all your might and throw it into the sea and come back. I won't tell you anything. Because, see, that ionospheric data and solar geophysical data was such an important thing, but we could not retrieve the data. I mean, this is for junior students of computer science, not for seniors. Please listen. See, what I did, I took the ASCII dumb, hexadecimal dumb, and patiently, manually decoded. I could succeed, thank God.
Wow.
I took a
So you still remember the olden days of converting decimal to
one of the
hexa?
unforgettable experience in my life. I mean, computational activities. One of my computational activities. I decoded it and I brought back the tape, copied the tape in the form, and I gave it to the director, who was mightily pleased. He did not say that thank you or anything. May God bless you, Venkat. That is the outcome from him.
Very nice. And can you please explain about the magnetic fields and the magnetism, how it works? Because you have a very vast experience in that, right? Since you are from
Actually,
Indian Institute of Geomagnetism.
one can never think that it is only a, one can never have a total, see, geophysics is a subject that there are many say many portions in geophysics. Say geomagnetism is there, and then one is palomagnetism. Many branches are there. So unless you have a at least a little knowledge of all other chapters, then only can say I got a composite view. Because palomagnetism is any institute, geomagnetic institute, without having palomagnetism, you will not get, you will not achieve much. That is the opinion from one of my friends from ONGC.
Okay.
So I would like to quote it. I have forgotten his name, unfortunately. He is a close friend of mine. So many years have passed, so I have forgotten.
So exactly what was your work during
my work
the
is I
tenure
have
of
to process
scientist?
routine data, collect all the decks. In those days, we used to use computer card decks, punched card decks. I used to collect them, and I used to submit them at the TFR Institute, collect the printout, and come to the back to the office and distribute the printouts to the respective people. And one or two couriers will accompany me to help.
So, and during your course of time, you used to calculate some of the fields
Yes.
about the Earth's
For
magnetic field and things.
Yes. I think let us go back to our high school physics, where you got electricity and geomagnetism, or electricity and magnetism. You know, there are three components of Earth's magnetic field. D, that is a declination, and I will briefly define it. There's angle between the magnetic meridian and the geographic meridian. We call it capital D, declination, wrongly pronounced sometimes as magnetic declination. And Z is the vertical component of Earth's magnetic field, which is, please note that, which is very much used in exploration, geophysics and other related fields. And H, which undergoes a severe change when a magnetic storm approaches the Earth from Sun.
Oh, so when it happens every time.
Sun is always active, as all of us we are aware. When there is a magnetic storm, it takes roughly 72 hours to arrive at the
Earth's surface.
at Earth's magnetic field. It comes and impinges the magnetic field, Earth's magnetosphere. The Earth's magnetosphere, on the contrary, it gets compressed, and the tail of the magnetic field goes up to the nearly up to Moon.
So will that magnetic field have any impact, major impact on
Yes,
human
yes.
bodies?
Now, human bodies, they do have. Actually, I am not a student of medicine. I think other doctors will be able to explain it in a better way. However, I would like to mention that epileptic patients during the days of Amavasya, that is New Moon Day, they are affected by Earth's magnetic field.
Oh,
Earth's
okay.
magnetic field and that epileptic patient, there is a strong connection, association is there.
So your measurement of this magnetic fields, right, will cause what kind of impact to your work? So how?
See, generally, as everybody knows, this magnetic storms, it interrupts long-way communication. Overseas communication interrupts radio waves. They are nothing but electromagnetic radio waves. It disrupts the long-way long-range communication. It disrupts.
Okay.
Okay. Second thing, this whatever magnetic data we produce, it is highly used by YNGC and other sister organizations.
So will that magnetic measurements, right? Magnetic field measurements will help to get rid of the earthquakes or kind
Yeah,
of
yes,
any.
you are bringing it to an important aspect. See, there are different subjects: tectonics, seismotectonics, magnetoseismotectonics. You see, there is a magnet in my heart, but the magnetic flux is approaching to you. I am not shaking the magnet. There is no change in flux. Nobody is bothered. Once I lightly move the magnet like this, the magnetic flux changes. Similarly, as I told you, recall that I told you that Earth behaves as if somebody has left a bar magnet around 492 kilometers away from the center of the Earth. See, the Earth is also rotating. The bar magnet which I have mentioned is also rotating. So magnetic flux is changing. Suppose, moreover, as all of us know, in the internal core of the Earth, always there is an activity. Movement is there. So magnet is slightly moving. The flux is changing. So it has got some very good correspondence with Earth's that is seismological calculations also. uh, Seismological variations do happen because of Earth's magnetic field movements also.
Oh, so sorry, don't think me bad. Just with the curiosity, do you remember the definitions of magnetic flux or magnetic field? Because in my during my school days or college days, when I read about the magnetic field and things, right, I used to by heart something and
Yes, yes,
do.
even now we,
So, do you do that kind, or do you know by practical means of?
whatever you have done in physics laboratory, mapping the magnetic field and say using a tangent galvanometer, whatever you can, the same thing we are doing. We are doing it in a professional level. Highest degree we employ highest measuring techniques so that we can measure angles up to 1/10 of a minute.
Very
See,
nice.
generally, one of our works, myself and one Mr. Asinkari, sir, we used to go to Alibag to calibrate the compasses that we have received from Indian Navy. So, against our standards, we calibrate the compasses. The compass, it has largest magnetism, or if it is effective, recommended to keep it aside and don't use this. This is not reliable. Because any deviation from our part will take the aircraft to a different destination. So as accurately as possible, we would calibrate. For every 22.5 degree, we are in a correction. So I think we are safe. Generally,
Good.
whatever certificates we give to Indian Navy, it is valid for 12 months. But we ask them to come after 10 months only. As and when atmospheric conditions, that is in Bombay, rainy season is very difficult to take such readings and all that. So we will wait. Either we will do the job before the monsoon, before the starting of the monsoon, or after the end of the monsoon. So June, July, August, we will not take any readings or we will not go for any campus calibration. We
Okay.
used to receive the campuses from Army helicopters, INS Virat, INS Vikrant, so many Indian Navy ships.
Very nice. So, I mean, it sounds very interesting that you worked with a lot of big people and achievers and with the various other, army and the zones, right? Army or in aeronautical region and in the earthquake. So, this kind of,
Magnetoseismotectonics
yeah,
techniques.
news channels and your work has helped in a lot of ways, right? In the
Yes, of course.
multidimensional work.
One of thing worth mentioning is that, see, the harmful ultraviolet radiation from the sun, it is being deflected by the Earth's magnetic field so that we are safe.
Oh.
Earth's magnetic field deflects this harmful radiation from the sun.
Very nice, very nice. And I would like to take a separate session with you regarding the full moon day and the no moon day.
Yes,
Maybe if
yes, yes.
you can help us explaining that right in the next video, it will
I
be
would like
great.
to mention that one of our senior colleagues, Professor D. R. K. Rao, D. Radhakrishna Rao, he is an expert in lunar magnetism.
Wow.
He got his PhD by submitting a thesis on lunar magnetic field. His
Very
guide
nice.
was Professor Srikantan, Director TAFR.
Very nice, very nice. And really, it was a wonderful time, Mr. Venkateswaran, to spend with you and to get your experience that you shared across to our channel viewers. And hopefully, we will meet you again with more interesting questions. And thank you so much for your valuable time.
Thank you so much for your patient hearing.